The MLB is not ready for this one. Brad J with you, Dodgers Digest, and the big story for the Dodgers. Well, it's all about Dodgers versus Yankees, and I don't think the MLB is ready for this. This is going to be the most highly anticipated matchup for the whole entire season. It's like a second World Series, but only 3 games and all at Dodger Stadium. So there, there you go on that. But here's the deal. Okay, Yankees versus Dodgers for the weekend at Chavez Ravine, and you got to send a message. This is it. This is the time for the Dodgers to send a message. And yeah, you don't have Glasnow, you don't have Snell out there, you don't have Sasaki. You got Gonsolin, and you got Knack on Saturday, and Yamamoto on Sunday. But no matter who you have, the offense needs to step up, and the Dodgers need to come to play. And that's the matchup. It's coming. And I'm telling you, this is the biggest matchup from the entire season on any teams matching up. This has got to be the biggest one. All right. So let's talk. Let's talk some stories here. There's some bad blood between the Dodgers and the Yanks. If you remember the Mookie Betts podcast, on which Chris Taylor said the Yankees had basically crapped down their leg. He used the S word, but I'm not really a cussing dude. And Baseball Isn't Boring podcast where he did it on. And Joe Kelly said the Dodgers scouting reports had highlighted the Yankees' deficiencies. And Joe Kelly said they can't even make a play. And so this went on, and then there was Verdugo that popped off too as well, and there was all that. But Luke Weaver had something recent to say. Of course, Luke Weaver of the Yankees. What did he have to say? Well, here's what Luke says. The way I personally look at it is when you go out and you're on the right side of the victory, you've got a leg to stand on. This is what the closer, Luke Weaver, said. When you lose, you ain't got much to say. But even though the Yankees lost, there are some pop offs every now and then. They said what they said, referring to the Dodgers. That's what they felt. I don't take it too personally. In a perfect world, yeah, you don't want to hear that type of stuff. We know what happened. We know we have to do a better job. We just didn't quite do what we wanted to do. With that being said, it is what it is. Luke Weaver, cheers to you, brother. I like what you said right there. That's a stand-up guy right there. It is what it is, but there was some trash talking going on. Let's look at the standings though right now because they are pretty evenly matched as we look at the standings right now. Here's American League East with the hated Yankees on top. That's a 35 wins. Those are 20 losses. But look at the last 10 games. So this is when you really need to step up. 9-1. So the last 10, they ripped off 9 victories out of that, right? Road, they're even, look at them on the road, 17-11. So the Yankees are bringing it somewhat of the season. But look, 35-20. What are the Dodgers? Well, 34-22. Okay. At home, pretty darn solid, 19-8. I love them odds right there. Last 10, not a fan of that. The 5-5, that's not too good. But look, in the win columns and in the loss columns, 1 less win, 2 more losses. So very evenly matched team. But it's, no matter how you slice this, this is it. This is the rematch, man. This is what baseball all about. And all 3 of these games are on national. I think it's Apple TV tomorrow. And then on Saturday, it is going to be Fox National. And then on Sunday, it is ESPN. So when they put all 3 as national games, that is big business. MLB knows this is an important matchup. All of baseball will be watching what goes down. And if you're the Dodgers, send a message, man. Time to send a message because you know what? You're going against Fried. That's a tough ask to have to take that guy on right off the bat. What's his ERA? 129, 67 strikeouts, 7-0. So Fried is a tough dude to have to face, but you got to think there's guys that have had success against him in the Dodgers lineup. Edman has had success against him. Look for him to play. Muncy has had success against him. Look for Muncy. He's had a couple recent good hits. Look for him to play. I think Rushing is probably going to get the start over Will. Don't quote me on it, But I think that Rushing, since he hasn't faced him, Will does not have good numbers against Breed. I think that Rushing will get to start, maybe give Will that second day off. And Rojas, Miggy Rowe has some numbers against him too as well. So maybe Miggy Rowe gets in. I'm thinking Edmund Muncie, Rushing, and Rojas for sure are going to complement the rest of the players. But it's a big game. You've got to send a message. This is what baseball is all about. It's going to be the most watched series the entire year of baseball is all taking place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that's it. All right. Let's talk about Tanner Scott. Look, I normally I've been getting harsh lately because I bring in some bad news at the start, and some people don't listen to the show all the way past that to realize it's not all bad. So I started with some good stuff, and then here's the bad stuff right now. What's going on with Tanner Scott? Here is what he blew a chance to sweep the Guardians. We had that win. That was crushing right there. He's blown 3 leads in the last 5 games, allowing 10 total runs during that time. That's a lot. That is a lot. Here's what Roberts has been saying. He's leaving middle spin sliders in the zone for them to put the ball in play. So he's leaving the ball in the zone way too long, is what I'm gathering from that. I think when you do that, sometimes the ball finds holes or some outfield grass. It's something we've seen all year. It's great at strike throwing, getting count leverage, but just can't get that last pitch to put guys away. And that's important. You need the last pitch to be able to get these guys out. That's what we kind of have to unlock and stay consistent with. So what are they going to do with him? I mean, he's still there. Maybe you might want to mix it up because here's the bummer about this, right? The bummer about this is this taxes the bullpen. So if you send your bullpen guys on, let's say you send 2 bullpen guys out and they get a bunch of pitches in, Dodgers got a lead, and then Tanner Scott comes in and then blows the save, those guys were for naught. Now, if Dodgers were losing as a blowout, Roberts isn't going to do that. He's not going to bring those guys in. But he thinks he's got this thing sewn up, well, then he's going to bring in his bullpen. And so where it hurts the most is it hurts the bullpen. So I think it is like keeping the ball in the zone too long, not getting that third strike. I mean, other than that, what, he had 2 outs or something like that before all heck broke loose on that. And don't look for Trinan soon. Trinan is not back till mid-June from that right forearm strain. So need him back in the mix for sure. All right. Gonsolin, that is freed. Warren versus Knack on Saturday. Yamamoto, and Yankees have not named a starter for Sunday's game versus Yamamoto. I'm sure they'll see how tomorrow's game goes. And also Tony Gonsolin. Let's talk about him since he's the guy getting the start. Here's what he has done so far: 4.68. He's only pitched 25 innings, so he should be somewhat fresh. 28 strikeouts. Like to see that number come up a little bit. 2-1 on the record. He's only been part of 5 games. His overall, he's a career 3.28 ERA. So you'd like to see him be able to get that number down, and hopefully he starts out good. Think the positive thoughts for the Dodgers and make things happen. Hey, by the way, this is show number 500. Can you believe it? Dodgers Digest 500. Thank you to everybody who's been part of it, who's subscribed, liked, turned on notifications. Thank all of you. If you have not done that, not going anywhere anytime soon, you might as well do so. All right? Subscribe, like, turn on notifications, and let's do this thing together. 3 against the Yankees, the most highly anticipated matchup of the entire baseball season. All starts Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Don't forget, tomorrow night will be on Apple, and then it goes to Fox on Saturday, and ESPN going to be the national game on Sunday. I'm Brad J. Thanks for being part of Dodgers Digest. Always thank you so much as you go through the day. Think Dodger Blue, and let's go Dodgers.